Good afternoon, folks. Let's continue with our Pyramid of Success series, and let's take it to the next level. Now, last time on the Pyramid of Success, we talked about the base of the pyramid, which is belief, accountability, selflessness, and enthusiasm. And we talked about that being the bottom level of the pyramid, built on the ground of positive attitude. And we talked about how that is the fundamental base of the pyramid of success. In order to get to the next level, you have to believe and be accountable, be selflessness, and have enthusiasm. Well, now it's time to take it to the next level. The next level of the pyramid, once that you believe and you understand what accountability is all about, and you're willing to give and be selfless, and you have a lot of enthusiasm, it's time to go to level 2. Level 2 is one word. And level 2 is all about commitment. Commitment. It's time to make a commitment. If you have the base in your heart and you believe and you're ready, now it's time to make a commitment. And commitment in college football is a word that has just been torn apart. And part of it has to do with college football coaches as well as players, but let's just talk about recruiting for a minute. And when we talk about commitment, how many times have you heard the word decommit? He decommitted. That didn't used to be a word in college football 20, 30 years ago. You didn't hear that much about how he decommitted and went here. Or soft commitment. How about that word? That's crazy. And that came up. I'm making a soft commitment. Try and do that with your wife. Try and make a soft commitment to an engagement or something. Yeah, I want to marry. I'm making a soft commitment to you, honey. See how far that gets you. Trying to decommit on wedding day to this young lady. That stuff, I'm kind of disturbed about that, And part of it is because of just the way recruiting is by nature. When a young man says, well, I've committed to such and such university, another university, coaches keep on recruiting them. They just keep on recruiting him, and they take a lot of pride in the fact, well, I flipped him. I got him flipped. I got him to flip from that commitment and come to our school, which, in some cases that's wonderful, and I'm not a big fan of it, and I'll tell you why. Because the minute that young man's not doing right, the coach will have him in the office saying, you're just not committed to this program. You're not committed to getting better. You're not committed to our off-season weight program, or you're not committed to your education. Well, I think the young man should sit there and say, well, coach, you taught me everything I need to know about commitment. You got me to flip. You got me to go back on my word. First thing I did as a young man was go back on my commitment to the other school. So, commitment is a funny thing, and that's not a very nice side of the business. It's an ugly side of college football as far as recruiting goes. Recruiting's wonderful. You're giving young men opportunity to change their lives. It's awesome. But this commitment thing and decommitting, I'm not a big fan of it, and you don't have to agree with me, but that's just the way I feel. So the second level in this pyramid that I've developed is commitment. And you have to talk and teach young people about commitment almost on a daily basis, because it's hard. When you're wearing a wedding ring, when you're married, that's commitment. That's commitment. When you come home from a long, hard day and you've put in extra hours, and your spouse wants to talk to you, and they just start talking away, if you're committed, you're going to listen. You're going to listen. Even though you're dog-tired, you're going to listen. If you're committed, you're going to do those dishes if they're in the sink, so she doesn't have to do them. Or so he doesn't have to do them, because I'm committed. I'm committed to this relationship. I want to help her out. It's just not a one-way street. Commitment is a big deal. When you say I'm committed to something, then you're committed. You're in 100%. You're totally committed, or you're totally out. There's no in between. It's like pregnancy. You're either pregnant or you're not. There's no halfway. You're not almost pregnant. You're not a little bit pregnant. You're pregnant. So it's the same thing with commitment. Are you in or are you not in? Do you believe in everything we do? Okay, then you got a chance. You got a chance to keep going up that pyramid. If you don't believe in everything that we do, you might want to go somewhere else. Commit to someone else. Commit to somewhere else. Decommitting and going back on those things, that's getting far too easy. That's getting far too easy in our culture of saying we're committed and then going back on that commitment in all aspects of our life. It's getting far too easy, and so we don't want to do that. We want to talk about commitment. We want to talk about going to the weight room every day in off season, not missing, not being late. That's commitment. That's good practice. That's good practice for when you have to go to work every day. When you're a husband and you're a father and you've got a family to support. You might not like it every day, but you need to go because you're committed. You're committed to that family. It's the same thing with your football team. You know, in February when there's ice on the ground and it's snowing, it's not very fun at 6:30 a.m., 6 o'clock, walking across that field and going to that weight room. But you're committed. You committed to this team. You told them you could make them better. You told the coaches that you'd help them, and the coaches need to help you too. It's a two-way street, but that's what commitment's about, and that's how you practice commitment. You know, be committed to your education. Be committed to getting an education, not just a degree, not just a piece of paper. Get an education. Learn how to learn, because once you get out of college, that's when you're really going to learn. So learn how to learn in college, and then when you get out, you'll get your second education, which in some cases is much more valuable than your first one, but be committed to your education. Be committed to your body in your off season and making it better. Be committed to practice. Be committed to film study. You know, be committed to the bottom part of the pyramid. Be committed to being a believer and being accountable and being selfless and showing enthusiasm. You know, committed men. Committed young men and committed men that's a great quality. That's a great quality. What a great compliment. That guy was committed. You know, that's what I would like my head coach to say about me as assistant coach. That guy was committed to what we're doing. He buys into what we're doing, and that's a great compliment. So we talk a lot about that with the linebackers and how to show commitment. Be there every day. Do the little things. Do the regular, mundane little things to the best of your ability every single day. You know, that's commitment. Being positive, that's commitment. Showing that enthusiasm, that's being committed to your team. Being selfless, that's commitment. Cleaning up the field, a little thing like carrying some bags in to the equipment shed. That doesn't seem like much. That's a selfless act. That's a selfless act. That means you're committed. That's like doing those dishes. You know, commitment. I heard Spike Dykes explain commitment probably in a couple of sentences better than I can in this whole little video clip. But he said commitment is like a ham and egg breakfast. Okay, ham and eggs. Think of ham and eggs on that plate, and think about what it took to get those ham and eggs there. Well, that chicken, he's involved. The chicken is involved. Or she's involved rather. The chicken is involved in that dinner, but the pig, he's committed. That pig's committed to that dinner. You know, he gave it up to be on that plate. So that's the difference between being involved and being committed. So commitment is a strong thing. That's the second step in the pyramid. You've got your base beliefs, then you've got commitment. I'm making a commitment. I'm buying in. I want to be a part of this thing that's bigger than myself, and I'm willing to take it on to the next level. And in the next couple levels, we're going to talk about, you know, in the pyramid of success, how to actually play, how to play on the field, how we want you to play when you're on the field. The bottom two rungs, we were just talking about what you need to have inside of you, what you need to believe in to be successful, to get to the position to get on the field and start helping us win on the field. So base, it's built on positive ground. Then you have the base philosophy of the pyramid. Then we have commitment, being committed to what we're doing. And then the next session, we're going to talk about how we want to act when we're on the field. How do we want to behave when we are on the field? So commitment is a strong word, and it's a great word. And if you have a group of young men that are committed and their coaches are committed, you've got something special there. If they're committed to a singular goal, you could do great things. So best of luck to you.